cake, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
So he ran off and flew right over the hedge. He ran on and on. Then he came to a great marsh where the wild ducks lived. He was so tired and miserable that he stayed there the whole night.
Where the wild ducks are?
Where the wild ducks are. It's wild ducks.
It's wild, right?
It's wild. In the morning, the wild ducks flew up to inspect their new comrade. What sort of creature are you? They inquired. You are frightfully ugly. But that does not matter to us, so long as you did not marry into our family. Poor, I know, poor little, poor fellow. He had no thought of marriage. All he wanted was permission to lie among the bushes and drink a little of the marsh water. Yeah, that's all the poor little guy wanted. Oh, everyone go. Oh. I don't know what that means, but thank you for doing that. He stayed there a whole 2 days. Then he hurried away from the marsh as fast as he could. His little legs took him so quick. Like bunny. Toward night, he reached a poor little cottage. It was such a miserable hovel that it could not make up its mind which way to fall, and so it remained standing. That's a good house right there. I mean, that's really how a house is made.
Yes.
It can't make up its mind to go to the left or to the right. I'll just keep standing. He saw that the door had fallen off one of the hinges and hung so crookedly that he could creep into the house through the crack, and by this means he made his way into the hut's one small room. An old woman lived there, and her cat, and her hen. In the morning, the strange duckling was discovered immediately, and the cat began to purr, and the hen to croak. They let the duckling sit in the corner, but they had no use for his opinion on any subject. They didn't want to ask him his opinion about the world situation or anything like that. It was no, just sit there.
Just go sit in the corner.
Soon he began to think of the fresh air and the sunshine, uncontrollably longing seizing him to float out on the water. And at last, he could not help telling the hen all about it. What on earth possesses you, she asked. Have you nothing to do? That is why you get these freaks in your head? These freaks, this is old language again, I don't know this. Lay some eggs or take to purring and you will get over it. But he's a ducky.
A duck that purrs.
I think I will go out into the wide world, said the duckling. Oh, do so by all means, said the hen. These people are mean. What's going on?
Oh, trust me.
So away went the duckling. He floated on the water and ducked underneath it. But he looked at askance. Askance?
Gone?
Askance.
That's a word.
That's a word. So he somehow looked at things by every little. What did he look? Oh, I see. He was looked at askance by every living creature for his ugliness. So all the other things didn't like what he looked like. I'm interpreting this.
There you go. Okay, thank you.
We're in English class now.
Oh boy.
Oh, you get to class now.
Yeah. Now the autumn came on. One evening, just as the sun was setting in wintry splendor, a flock of beautiful large birds appeared out of the bushes. They were dazzling white swans with long waving necks, uttering a peculiar cry. They spread their magnificent broad wings and flew away from the cold regions to warmer lands and open seas. Woo! Everyone say woo! That's what it sounded like.
That's fine.
The ugly little duckling craned his neck up into the air after them. Then he uttered a shriek so piercing and so strange that he was quite frightened by it himself. What did I just... Oh, he could not forget these beautiful half birds. He did not know what they were, but he was more drawn towards them than he had ever been to any creature before. The winter was so bitterly cold that the duckling was obliged to swim about and the water to keep from freezing. But every night the hole in which he swam got smaller and smaller. At last he was so weary that he could move no more. At last, and he froze fast into the ice.
Oh no!
I'm okay. This is just too much for me. Okay, I can do it. Early in the morning, a peasant came along and saw him. He hammered a hole in the ice with his heavy wooden shoe. Okay, good for him.
Wooden shoe.
We're in Holland now, I guess. And he carried the duckling home to his wife. There he was soon revived. The children wanted to play with him. But the duckling was frightened and rushed in his fright into the milk pan, and the milk splattered all over the room. Then he flew into the butter cask and down into the meal tub and out again. Just imagine what he looked like by this time. Oh. The woman screamed and tried to hit him with the tongs. With the tongs. They were having salad that night. And their children tumbled over one another trying to catch him. Oh, what craziness is happening for this poor little... By good luck, the door stood open, and the duckling flew out among the bushes and the new fallen snow and lay there exhausted. But it would be too sad to mention all the privations and misery he had to go through during that hard winter. So we're going to skip that. I mean, it actually doesn't do it. When the sun shone warmly again, the duckling was in the marsh, lying among the rushes. All at once he raised his wings, and he flapped with much greater strength than before, and he flapped vigorously. Before he knew where he was, he found himself in a large garden with a lovely lake. Just in front of him, he saw 3 beautiful white swans with rustling white feathers. They swam lightly over the water. Everyone say, "Ah." The duckling. The duckling recognized the majestic bird, and he was overcome by a strange melancholy. I will fly to them, the royal birds, and they will hack me to pieces because I am so ugly. Better be killed by them and snapped at dust and pecked at all than by spurned by all. Poor little guy, look at his poor self-esteem. So he flew into the water and swam towards the stately swan. They saw him and darted towards him with ruffled feathers. Ruffled. Have ridges. Kill me, oh kill me, said the poor creature, bowing his head toward the water. But what did he see reflected in the clear water? He saw below him his own image, but he was no longer clumsy. Dark gray birds, ugly and ungainly. He was himself a swan. Yes. The big swans swam around and around him and stroked him with their big bills. Soon, little children came into the garden with corn and pieces of bread, which they threw into the water, and the smallest one cried out, "There is a new one!" And they clapped their hands and danced about. They danced about. The new swan felt quite shy and hid his head under his wing. He thought of how he had been perused and scorned, and now he heard them all say that he was the most beautiful bird of all. He rustled his feathers and raised his slender neck aloft, saying with exultation in his heart, "I never dreamed of so much happiness when I was there." The end.
That's such a screwed up story.
So thank you all so much for